Meet John Schwartz. He is a 46-year-old man. He loves to read, write, learn new languages, and music. He's currently writing a book, but the subject is a secret, and is fluent in Greek and Latin. John likes to keep a strict schedule. He does not deviate from the schedule, and when it is broken, he gets nervous. Every day, he gets up, eats breakfast, walks to work, works, walks home from work, eats dinner, studies or read, and goes to bed. Each are done at the same time every day. He works at Cheers, which is a non-profit organization that employs individuals with disabilities. He works in the independent living section where he teaches classes on how to live on your own and to use public transportation. John was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Symptoms may include paranoia, delusions, which are normally auditory, and it can affect the speech. Individuals normally have high or low dopamine levels, can feel detachment, anxiety, or depression. John was not diagnosed until he was 16. Symptoms that were present before were ignored until they escalated due to the lack of knowledge and the lack of social acceptance. The symptoms that John suffers from are speech problems, delusions, anxiety, and depression. Most of these symptoms are controlled by medication. Schizophrenia can be apparent at a young age, or it might not show symptoms until it has been triggered by the environment. John suffered from a mental breakdown when he was 16. This caused his symptoms to escalate. Most treatments for schizophrenia include medication, therapy, and if the speech has been affected, speech therapy. John's family consisted of his mother, father, and sister. They did not hold traditional values and held separate lives. Sadly, the family was not accepting of his exceptionality. This inability to accept him came from society at the time, which was unaccepting of differences. Furthermore, his family immigrated from Hungary, and in the Hungarian culture, people with disabilities were not accepted and often taken away from their homes. Because of these ideas, they received no help from extended family due to their attempt to hide his disability from others. Their inability to accept him caused him to have low self esteem. Luckily, as time went on, the family became more accepting of him. John never had to compete for attention because he and his sister were involved with themselves and maintained separate lives. They did not interact very much because after John suffered a mental breakdown, he was sent to a psych ward, which limited their ability to communicate with one another. As they have grown older, they have attempted to reconnect and be a part of each other's lives to make up for the lost time. In John's early life, there were signs that he had an exceptionality. When he was younger, he was an introvert and did not like to socialize. When he got in trouble, his punishment was to hang out with the neighborhood kids. He preferred to read and would not talk that much in school. The family was so focused on seeming normal that they ignored the signs. Oftentimes, people with exceptionalities struggle with school, but John was academically bright. He took several college courses in high school. His favorite subjects revolved around music, such as guitar, piano, and choir. Due to his need to follow a schedule, he struggled when the teacher would change the agenda. He did not have an IEP during school because they did not exist, and the idea was that people with disabilities were not socially acceptable. Today, John has a very different lifestyle due to his ability to be a part of the family and his family being more accepting of his exceptionality and him being genuinely happy. Today, John and his sister are closer. She has attempted to include him into her own family to make up for lost time. He is included in the family vacations, pictures, and get togethers. By being a part of the family, he socializes more. Although he does not like to socialize with others, he will socialize with the family members. This allows him to enhance his conversational skills. Society has become more accepting of those with disabilities, which has influenced his family in coming to terms with his disability. They allow him to make his own decisions and do not get mad when something occurs due to his exceptionality. Much of this acceptance has come from being educated about his disability and their ability to become advocates for others. John is now genuinely happy. He has an increased self esteem due to his job. He is proud of the work he does, which allows him to be happy. And he is happy to be accepted by his family. advises teachers to be aware of what students' needs are and to seek advice from others when they are unsure about a child. It is important to pay attention to all the students. John was quiet and was often forgotten. If John would have spoken up, there's the possibility that he would have been diagnosed earlier for his exceptionality. Bullying does not just come from the peers, but it can also come from the family. John was not bullied by his peers, but bullied by his family, particularly his father, which is never okay because parents are supposed to be supportive. The main thing is to be vigilant. Vigilant is key to supporting your students. In my classroom, I will be aware of how the family feels about their child's exceptionality. I will help the child and the family realize that it's okay to have a disability. John did not get the help that he needed until symptoms escalated. I would like to prevent this from happening to other students by helping the parents accept their child for who they are and connect the parents to support groups. I will know and understand what my students like and dislike. John did not like to get a schedule and have it changed, so I will attempt to do what my students like. Through this project, I have learned that society has come a long way in accepting those with disabilities, but we still have room for improvement. Families do play a major role in the success of their child's. Those individuals that have support are more successful, and the families that are in denial often fall behind or fall between the cracks. Furthermore, it may take the family more time to accept their child's exceptionality. And for the most part, we must put the child's needs first.